Hello guys, welcome back. Having a load balancer set up for your application, you may need dynamically add or remove servers to it based on the demand increases or decreases. In this video, I'll show you to set off an ALB and create an auto-scaling group and then add the ALB into it. The servers can dynamically be added into the ALB target group. So let's start creating a load balancer first. Guys, if you have not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe it now. You'll get notified when I upload more videos. I have logged into my AWS console here. So let's go to the down here and you will see here load balancing, right? In this load balancing sections, we have load balancers and target group. So we have to create a target group first. Let's go ahead, create target group. Here in the basic configurations, we have different type of target, like whether you want your load balancers to be work based on the instances or IP addresses or lambda functions and all these, right? So I'm going to demonstrate with instances. Okay, so here the instances are there. Now let's give a name to it. Suppose I'll give it as my ALB instance. Okay, and on the protocol, because I'm going to create the application load balancer, and the application load balancer works on the protocol HTTP. Okay, so you have to select the protocol HTTP, and the default port of the HTTP protocol is 80, and I'm using the default VPC. The protocol version is HTTP 1, and here most important is the health check. So health check protocol is HTTP, and I'm going to do the health check starting from the root. So I have given it a root here. Okay, and in the advanced health check, you can find the healthy threshold, unhealthy threshold, and the timeout. How many seconds you want to check, how many times you want to check for the healthy threshold, how many times you want to check for unhealthy, and the time and the seconds, how much time it will wait for the timeout, and the interval, how much time interval it will go up and to the health check. All these options you can set it off here. Okay, and then go ahead, click next. So here we can see it says available instances. We don't have any instances available, and we are not going to register here it manually. Okay, because I'm going to show you how it automatically will be added as part of the auto scaling group. Okay, so don't do anything here, simply go ahead and create target group. So our target group is created. You can see here the load balancer none associated. Okay, now let's go ahead and create one load balancer. Click on this load balancer here, and we'll see here we don't have any load balancer available. Now go ahead and create one load balancer. Create load balancer, and you can see here there are the different type of load balancers available. It displays here. So I'm going to choose the application load balancer. So create, just give a name to the load balancer. Suppose I'll give my ALB. Okay, and it should be internet facing. IP address I'm going to give as IPv4. Network mapping, I'm just letting the default VPC here, and the mapping, like the availability zone, at least one availability zone, and we recommend selecting at least two availability zones. So let's go ahead and select two availability zone for our load balancer. Okay, now go ahead and the security group, make sure the security group being used uh, the the firewall access for the 80 and 22. Make sure the port number 80 should be firewalled, because our HTTP accesses through 80 port. So I have already existing security groups, so I added into that. Now you can see here the listener and the routing. This is very important to set up the listener, and this protocol is HTTP and port is 80. Here to where we want to forward, right? So let's select the target group which we had created. Select the target group here. Done. So add-on services, I don't want any add-on services. If you want, go for tags to give name and all the details. So it is optional, it's up to you. You can add it or leave it. So I'm just going ahead and create the load balancer. Okay, so what will happen if you go and check view load balancer? Our load balancer has created, but it is in provisioning state. Just wait for a few seconds, let it active. Okay, once it's active, we can use the load balancer. So by the time it gets active, I can show you here we have our DNS name of our load balancer. Now using this DNS name, we can access our application. So we can use this DNS name to access our application. Now, so the load balancer is created, but no server has been registered with our load balancer. Now let's go ahead and create an auto-scaling group and register the load balance automatically, add the load balance automatically. So you can see here we have the auto scaling group. Okay, so before going to the auto scaling and creating an auto scaling group, we should have create a launch template or launch configurations. Okay, so just go ahead and create the launch template. So here either you can go ahead and create launch configuration here, or you can go here for the launch templates. Okay, if you go ahead and click on this launch template, you can have options to create the launch template here itself. Click on this create launch template, give a name to it. Suppose I'll give my template here and give a template version. Suppose I'll give as dev 1.0, something I can give the name of the template version. Okay, and here if you want for any kind of auto scaling guidance, you can just add it here and check it, and just give a template tags here. If you want to give a tag to this name, it is optional. If it's up to you whether you want to give. I don't want to give a template tag. Or if you want to source from any existing template, you can go ahead and source it here. Suppose from ABC Banking, I don't want to get it here, let it be there. Now we want the images to be selected first. So now whenever we create the launch instance, right, you have to select the AMI. Now we in the template also we have to select the AMI which needs to be added as part of the launch instance. Okay, now just select, suppose I want to select Amazon Linux and free tier. Okay, Linux 2. Now 86 the architecture should be 64-bit. I selected, and the instance type, select what of the instance type based on your requirement. I will go with the T2 micro. Key pair, select the existing key pair if you have any, or create a new key pair here. Now the network subnet, so let it as part of the BPC. I'm not going to check anything. So the security group, we can select the existing security group. If you have any, you can select one existing security group, or if you don't have one, you can go ahead and create a security group and attach it here. Okay, so advanced network setting, in the advanced network setting we don't have any network interface because we are going to use all at the default one. Okay, in the storage section you can see by default it takes the root volume 8 GB of EBS volumes, like general purpose SSD GP21. So let it be there by default one. So resource tags, if you want to give it resource tag name, you can go ahead and give it here. In the advanced details, you can see here the advanced details, let it be everything there. Okay, I'm not going to change anything. So if you go ahead and seek it here in the user data section. Okay, so in the user data section, I'm going to add a script which will now install the Apache server and deploy my applications into the server during the creation. Okay, so let me just copy. I have few things copied here. I'll just get it here and put down here. Let me clean which here the things not required. Okay, so I put this script which will be executed and it will create one index file in the var www.html. Okay, now create launch template. So my template is now successfully created. If I go ahead, you can see here I'll have this my template available. Also I have another template is called ABC banking. Okay, so now you are clear how to create the lunch template. So let's go ahead and create an auto scaling group. Okay, so just click on this create an auto scaling group, give a name to it, like I'll just give us my ASG auto scaling group, and here we have to choose the template, whatever the template we have created, right? Here my template name is ABC banking. Select it, and I have two versions of the template, 2 and 1, so you can select whatever you need. So let me select as default 1, and all the details information so you can find it out as part of this template. Select everything as it is and next. And here we have the default network settings available here. Okay, we have this networks, and in this network I'm going to use the default BBC. I'm going to use the default BPC, and here you can see here availability zones. Select the availability zone. I'm going to choose 1A and 1B, so two availability zones selected here. And the instance type requirement, if you want to change your instance type, and if you want from T2 micro to T2 medium or M4 or anything, you can go ahead and override the launch template. Okay, so I don't want to do, let's go ahead and click next. And here is the options they are providing, like to attach the load balancer into the auto scaling group. So here it gives the options like no load balancer, attached to an existing load balancer, and attached to a new load balancer. As we have already created the load balancer, let's go ahead and select the load balancer target group from here. Okay, just refresh this page and make sure, see, we have our my ALB happen instance. This is the ALB target group. Select it. Now the health check. It is already been selected for EC2. Now let's go ahead and select for ELB, Elastic Load Balancer. Okay. Now additional settings, if you want for monitoring like enable group metrics and all, you can go ahead and select it. I don't want this monitoring to be active. Now let's go ahead, click next, and here the group size. This is very much important, guys, to make sure that how many amount of EC2 instances do you need for your project to be set up, right? So I need suppose the desired capacity I'll give 2, and minimum should be 1, and maximum you can give 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want. And the desired, if suppose 5, you can give, like the maximum can be 10, 8, or 20, whatever you want. So let me give as it is 3. And the scaling policies, let me just choose that none for the time being, and the next page I'll show you how to update the scaling policies. Okay, now let's go ahead and click on next. And the notifications, we have to add this add notifications if you want to receive notifications in case any EC2 instances get terminated or anything happened or any issues happened. If you want to notify it, then you can go ahead and click on this add notifications and add the SNS topic. Okay, so you have to create SNS topic, you have to use SNS service to create the topic and select the and use this add notifications to add it. Now let's go ahead and click next here. If you want to give add tag to the resources, just give like give a name to it. I can give like my ASG instance. Okay, next. So just have a look, review everything fine. Go ahead and create auto scaling group. Okay, so as soon as you create the auto scaling group, what will happen? The instances, the desired number of instances, like it is 2, right, will be created. So let's go ahead and check whether our instances has been created or not. So if I go ahead and go to the instances, we can see here my ESG instance is in pending status. Okay, that means it is getting created. So we had selected desired capacity 2, so 2 instances has been started now. Okay, now we can see, just wait for a few seconds to it run completely. Okay, by the time we can go ahead and get the load balancer DNS and check whether our applications, whatever is installed or as part of the template, is available or not. So if we go to the load balancer target group here, you can see those two servers will be automatically added. We have not added anything. We have not registered any EC2 instances to our load balancer, right? If I go ahead and check, these two has been, see, automatically registered. Now you can see it's been automatically gets registered. What it says, like my SG, the health status is says unhealthy. Just see, after few time refresh, you can see here both the servers has started running. So we can see here it is 2. So why it says unhealthy? Because the server was not, the EC2 instances was not active. Actually the EC2 instances both were not running. So if I go ahead and just go to the, just refresh it, we'll see here both of our EC2 instances are running, and all the servers like the Apache servers and the applications has been deployed. Because the load balancer, what it does the health check from the root directory of the server. Okay, so if it finds the index.html and the server available, the server is running, then what it will do, it will do the health check success and it will give us healthy status. Now if I go ahead and grab the DNS from the load balancer, okay, so let's grab the load balancer from here. If I go ahead, just paste it here, we can see our application will be running. See, now we can see our application is running. If I just send request, so the applications, the request will go to both of the servers, both of the EC2 instances. Now you see how we can add the load balancer in our auto scaling group, and the servers are automatically gets registered as part of the auto scaling group. So if there is demand increases, so the auto scaling group will add automatically one server to it. So let me show you how that automatic scaling can be, policy can be set. If you go to the auto scaling group here, let's go here and click on this automatic scaling group name. You can find it here, automatic scaling, and we have few options here like dynamic scaling policy, predictive scaling policy, scheduled options, and all. Okay, so I know you're familiar with dynamic, what type of scalings available here. Okay, so if you want for scheduled options, go ahead and create scaling. How many instances do you need to be created, and the occurrence once or every 5 minutes or every 1 hour every day you want the instances to be created, it will be created. Okay, so you can set it up here. Now, so all clear. Okay guys, you know how to create the auto scaling group, how to create the load balancer, how we can attach the load balancer into the auto scaling group, and you can see how the instances are automatically or dynamically getting added to our load balancer. If you have any doubt or any concerns, please do write me in the comment section below. I'll try to answer your queries. If you have not subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe now so that you'll get notified when I add more videos in my channel. Thank you.